My name is Mike Krivka, training director for CrossFit Concepts and also an RKC team leader. What I want to talk to you about today is the handstand. So you see a lot of videos being shot, people doing handstands against the wall, basically slamming their feet against the wall, or using some sort of method that uses the wall to stabilize before they do their handstand, or their handstand push-ups, or their one-arm handstands. So what I want to show you today is a way to practice the handstand, or practice the approach to the handstand, so you're not relying upon the wall. Once again, the goal behind any skill, any advanced skill, is take that skill, break it down into composite parts, make that skill transferable to someone who can't do handstands, or someone who can, and make them more proficient in it. So this method I'm going to show you now has been 100% successful with everyone we showed it to. They've been able to do handstands, they thought the first time, within a very, very short period of time, because this allows you to feel comfortable being upside down, okay? So here's what we're going to do. So once again, using the wall as kind of a break fall if you need it, you have to be able to get up there without slamming your feet against the wall. So the method I use is, I use a straight leg. So if I was trying to jump up with both legs, hit my feet against the wall, I basically throw my leg up. So watch what's going to happen, okay? So one leg is bent, one leg is straight. I practice just kind of bouncing. Throw that leg up until I feel comfortable getting to the wall. Go to the other side. One, too much at a time. Straight leg, and then up. What you'll notice is it's a really, really slow way of getting up. You don't need the wall there. So, for example, if you have someone who's really, really cautious about doing the handstand, and they're very, very scared of being falling over, just have them start away from the wall, okay? And have them work on this nice slow kick. So, kick, change legs, kick, change legs. This gives them a way of practicing that skill of going up and down without having the fear of flipping over in the process. So now, once you've got the structure, the balance to go from the ground, what you want to try to do is work on two things. One is fine-tuning the kick. So if you practice the ground kick, boom, boom, you'll get to a freestanding handstand very, very fast without needing the wall. The next challenge is adding elevation or offsetting. So if you really, truly want to go to a one-handed handstand, you've got to train the offset. So let me demonstrate on 3 different heights what that looks like using the straight-legged kick up to get up. And you'll see the amount of kick I need starting at the lowest level, going to the highest level, is just a factor of using that leg a little more robustly, okay? But not bending the leg. So from the lowest position, from here, up soft, and back down. Once again, you don't want to be slamming your feet against the wall if you can avoid it, okay? From here, same idea. Up, pull away, and hold. Okay? A little bit higher, a little bit more of a challenge. And then back down. So what you're looking for is, is the skill transferable? Is it transferable from the ground? Is it transferable elevated? It's highly transferable. And the nice part about using this method is you're not going to overkick because you've already trained yourself to find the position of your hips and the position of your feet. If you're training the method where you jump up and your legs are bent, your feet are going to hit the wall first, your hips are going to be offset, you're never going to find that nicely balanced position that allows you to do a freestanding handstand. So once you have this balanced approach to getting up there, and it really is a question of not overkicking and finding the position of your hips first. Doesn't matter what you do with your feet, your hips have to be the first thing that gets up in the air, okay? Now you start playing with offsets. In other words, so you're starting to play with a position where you're going, hey, I have one hand high, one hand low, going to the point in time where you can go into a one-handed handstand, okay? So this is kind of a fun thing to do. You play around with training the offset by offloading onto an elevated barrier, okay? So it looks like this. Again. So that's going to train you. So when you eventually go to the one-handed handstand, it trains you to feel what the offload is like. So you're not pushing. If you have these offset barriers and you push the same on both sides, it's just going to flip you over, which is going to be a bad experience. So that kind of gives you a feel for what you're going to want to work on. So one of the fun things you can do is try doing the same skill on a kettlebell. Now, I got to warn you that the stability on a stool or on a box is very, very different than the stability you're going to have on a kettlebell. So I caution you right now, this is one of those stupid pet tricks that you only want to see on YouTube, and you may not want to try it yourself unless you have a very, very large kettlebell. So, you know, a 35, a 44, a 53, 53 is approaching where you're probably at the cutoff level where you're going to have a stable base. 61, 70s, up into the 80s and 100s, you're good to go. So, here we go. I'm not sure if you can see on the video perspective-wise, but my goal is to get up as close to the wall as I can without touching, or touch and immediately recover and pull off. And that position, the ability to perceive that load, is if you're not in balance with your hips and your glutes and your abdominal wall, you're going to always have that bend. You've got to find the position where you can straighten everything out so you can actually be up and down and be stable. So that's my perspective on doing the handstand. It's not an authoritative. I'm an amateur at this. I feel comfortable teaching it this way and have been very successful. I think what I try to do is, with any basic skill, is have a skill transferable regardless of the person's athletic ability. If someone very, very strong can do something, but someone very, very weak can't use their technique, I don't feel it's really a valid example of what we should be doing. So when it comes to this technique, weak or strong, anyone can do this, and anyone can be successful at it. Also, obviously that skill is transferable from doing it on the ground per se, to doing it on an elevated platform, to doing it on kettlebell. So as the elevation gets higher, it gets more difficult, the risk factors become more increased, but the actual baseline, basic technique stays the same. And that's really the key factor I'm trying to point out, is you've got to have a transferable skill. You're always working towards the most difficult skill, even at the most basic level. Everything you do from that point forward is to get you to a more complicated, a more complex, more difficult skill. Thank you very much for your attention. I appreciate it.